your ruler. Zod. Your lands, your possessions, your very lives will gladly be given in tribute to me.
What's up, everybody? If you were watching my last video, I apologize. I accidentally cut myself off before the video was gonna end. What I was gonna say was, you got some shooters like Warzone 2 that feels really smooth and fluid, but you got other shooters like Far Cry 5 which feels janky and wonky and is terrible. But anyways, this video is gonna be, we're gonna check out the Critical Drinker's Peter Pan reaction or compilation, or whatever you call his compilations. Me, when I saw the Peter Pan trailer the other day, I got really flabbergasted. I was like, I tried not to get like triggered. I guess is the word, but I got a little triggered in that video. But anyways, let's jump into it and check out this cool Critical Drinker compilation. Alright, here we go.
Another day.
Oh wait,
another day.
I messed up. I'm all over the place today. I keep messing up. I keep messing up repeatedly today. Like, I messed up in the last video, I'm messing up now. Okay, here we go. My bad. Here we go.
Another day, another Disney live-action remake of a beloved animated movie. Because as we all know, nothing says creativity and imagination like retelling the same story over and over again without having to take the risk of coming up with something new and unproven. And when it comes to exploring old properties with strong followings and name recognition that guarantee a good return on investment, Disney truly are the masters of the trades. First you had Beauty and the Beast, then you had Aladdin, then you had The Lion King, then...
Dude, the original, this movie is such a good movie. It's like, if you rewatch it, it's only an hour long. It's only an hour long, so it's like super short, but it's like so well made. It feels longer than an hour because there's so much adventure jam-packed in the short little movie. But anyways, I'm trying to see, did I watch Beauty and the Beast?
First you had Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, let's be honest, Emma Watson's hot as Belle, so I don't remember if I watched Beauty and the Beast though. I know I saw the original. And I know that Beauty and the Beast is like the #1 favorite, Disney film of girls, gals, women, etc., whatever you want to call them. Statistically, I don't know if there's like a poll or something, but I think that says a lot. Anyways.
Then you had Aladdin, then you had The Lion King, then Mulan. Well, now get ready for Peter Pan and Wendy, a reimagining of the classic children's story by Scottish author J.M. Barrie about a young British girl named Wendy who travels to the magical world of Neverland with the swashbuckling hero Peter Pan and his gang of lost boys, only this time updated for modern audiences. And it's about time too. Sure, the original story might be widely regarded as a literary classic that reshaped the landscape of children's storytelling, sensitively dealing with complex ideas like the inevitability of aging and the loss of childish innocence, the power of imagination and belief, and the importance of ultimately moving on and growing up. But it's also deeply problematic, enforcing damaging stereotypes and outdated ideas that we just can't allow to exist these days. They must be removed at any cost. And if the recent trailer that got released is anything to go by,
and that is why I got so offended that they decided to butcher this amazing story that has so much symbolism. I mean, a lot of the other Disney films, I don't care that much. Like, just don't care that much. But this story, it has so much symbolism and metaphors, and for birth, life, and death, for the journey of growing up and responsibilities the afterlife. There's just so much symbolism in this story that I think is one of the most intriguing Disney films. But yeah, so it just, I don't know. That's why I got so offended, as especially if you read the original book, and this, like, the stuff revolving around Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. When I saw that they decided, oh, we're just gonna take liberties and completely butcher what it means to be a lost boy, and girls can be lost boys too. That was a blatant slap in the face. That was a blatant slap in the face of, especially the times, especially the times that the story was written in the early 1900s. I mean, women just get to show up. Men are the ones who have to sacrifice and build society and be expendable in war and everything. It's like, that's why it's like, if you don't understand, I don't want to go on a long tangent, I just want to continue this video, but it's like, if you don't understand, if you don't understand the reality, you don't understand objective reality, if you don't understand why it's offensive to just throw girls in with the Lost Boys. You don't understand objective reality. You don't understand. You just don't. Because men are expendable. And if you don't believe that, you're living in a fantasy world. You're not living in objective reality. So that is why the never growing up is an alluring thing. And by a lot of accounts, women don't have to worry about that luxury, because women are, as the saying goes, the oldest teenager in the house. Women never mature past teenagedom. They never mature past their 18, 19 mentality. They just don't.
Confident that today's fine scriptwriters have done a fantastic job of fixing these problems. Like The Lost Boys, for example, which by their nature were sexist and exclusionary. Yeah, the origins of the Lost Boys in the novel.
I gotta go back because there's gonna be some gold here, so I gotta go back. I might have talked over something. Alright, here we go.
Recent trailer that got released is anything to go by. I'm confident that today's fine scriptwriters have done a fantastic job of fixing these problems. Like The Lost Boys, for example, which by their nature were sexist and exclusionary. Yeah, the origins of the Lost Boys in the novel were actually a subtle compliment to female intelligence and sensibility, since in the words of Peter Pan himself, the Lost Boys were babies who fell out of their prams, while girls were far too clever to let something like that happen to them.
Exactly, and that is why that's another thing, the thing that I didn't touch on. So, like, I don't know if she's gonna watch this video. I don't even know if she watches my video, but I have no idea who these 152 people are subscribed to me are. If one of them are this person that I'm referring to, then so be it, she'll see this. But I had an argument with a buddy's wife years ago about whether or not girls could be considered lost boys because of that famous song. You know, that song, I don't remember the name of the song, but you know the song where that chick sings lost boys, Neverland, blah blah blah. I don't know the song. I don't know the name of the song to name it by the title, but and that is why it's so offensive to say, oh yeah, girls can be lost boys too. No, they can't. Because if you've ever read the original story, Lost Boys are literally baby boys who are, because boys are considered inherently expendable, men are, the male gender is inherently expendable. Look around, right? Boys are less cared after, less pampered, less nurtured, less everything. So they're more often to get lost. And girls, because they're so great and good inherently, right, are more cared after and more nurtured and less likely to be lost, right? Less likely to fall out of their prams. And also because they're so clever. Anyways, that's the wording. The old English, it's old English, like, so it's like really old, like old English type words, but that's essentially the gist of it. Is like, the gist of it is girls are more inherently valuable, right? Pure and good, and you know, so they could never be foolish enough to fall out of their carriages. But really what they're inferring is that the parents are gonna make dang sure that they take care of their baby girl, whereas baby boys, oh well, they're tough, they'll figure it out, you know. So anyways, that's the story, and that's how the Lost Boys became Lost Boys in the first place, because of irresponsible mothers losing them.
And all of this was tied into the overarching theme of Wendy, a girl, being a mature and steadying influence on the group, ultimately bringing them to the realization that they couldn't remain as children forever, and that it was time for them to go home and live full and complete lives at last. But of course, that kind of subtle exploration of the different perspectives and outlooks of boys and girls, particularly in a story with a female protagonist, is dangerous and damaging, because we need to be constantly reminded that girls can punch and fight and do adventure stuff too. And what's so great about the trailer is that it manages to work this change into the plot in a subtle, elegant and organic way, rather than just trying to shove it in your face with some clumsy piece of cheesy dialogue.
But you're not all boys. So?
Nailed it. But what about Peter Pan himself? Let's take a look at this classic roguish, mercurial adventurer for the modern age.
Peter Pan?
Were you expecting someone else?
Yeah, I was.
How about Tinkerbell, the fairy who helps and guides?
I was
Wendy,
expecting
but also
somebody
has a
else.
mighty crush on Peter. Now, you might remember her from the 1950s animated movie, or the 1990s movie Hook, or the 2003 movie. Well, let's see how she's looking in 2023. Ah, just like I remember. It really silences those critics who claim that modern Disney remakes are just lazy race and gender swaps of established characters in a vain attempt to pander to minorities, often disrespecting the cultural heritage of the source material. Take that, haters. Personally, I expect the objects of Tinkerbell's affections will turn out to be Wendy this time around, but maybe I'm just crazy. Actually, talking
Disney's taking the Disney never mind.
about Wendy, you might remember from
I
the
don't want to
original
make a Brendan
literature
Schaub
and the
joke.
animated movie that Wendy becomes a kind of
If you don't like it, you're a hater. It's not inherently bad. You're just a hater.
maternal figure to Peter and the Lost Boys, helping to maintain their home and teach them manners and discipline that they lacked before, and that even though she got captured and had to be rescued by Peter, she represented something far more powerful even than him: the ability to leave behind the childish ignorance of Neverland and grow up, to make a real life for herself and become something more than she was, and that this ability is ultimately what helps the rest of the Lost Boys to leave Neverland behind and return to the real world with her. But that's not the kind of subtle thinking that we encourage in modern writing. Instead, we need to show Wendy as an ass-kicking, sword-fighting girl boss who can take on two of Captain Hook's pirates at the same time and fight almost as well as Peter himself. Because, as we all know,
girls get it done.
Honestly, I think this movie looks like a fantastic addition to the Disney Plus lineup, really honouring the legacy of one of their most iconic films from the classic era of animation, and if the stellar trailer reception is anything to go by, audiences are gonna absolutely love it. And I can't wait to see it happen. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Go away now. I always think he's gonna say piss off, but I think sometimes maybe he does say piss off, but
And all of this was tied into the overall.
anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I do. Trying to be a little bit more organic, so like that's why when I mess up here and there, it's like, oh, well, whatever, you messed up, because it's more like real. It's more real. It's more organic, rather than being like, oh, let me not mess up. Oh no, I hit the wrong hotkey or I messed up. So and just go with the flow and be more organic. So appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like, subscribe, all the stuff that helps the channel. Twitch right there. There's another video popping up right here if you want to click that. You got more spare time on your hands to listen to me rant. Peace out, guys.